If you bring the arts and the humanities into something that has been the domain of medicine or the harder life sciences, you might have results that you can't get when you're pursuing just one of those fields.
Helping those at risk for diabetes improve their diet and lifestyle choices can be, at best, a challenge. But for a group of ASU researchers, that challenge served as the basis for an interdisciplinary pilot study that combined theater, cooking demonstrations, and hands-on learning to transform the ways in which people think about food.
The project is called the Diabetes of Democracy in South Phoenix, and we were interested in seeing if theater and its various methodologies could do something for the awareness and prevention of diabetes among the people most at risk for it, which are, among others, Latino youth. If it could work where other traditional forms of education or publicity don't. And so for that reason, we designed a project that would place a performing artist, a live cooking show, in a high school setting and in ASU's downtown kitchens to see if either the youth themselves or the future allied health professionals might learn something from his innovative cooking techniques and theater techniques, frankly, that would help some of these ideas about healthy eating land in a way that they may not if you're just reading a book or watching a TV show.
We are going after type 2 diabetes in at-risk communities. We've been doing the cooking show for almost 17 years, going all over the country, making people laugh, have a good time, getting them to talk about their stories, and always remembering that food is the beginning, not the end. And so what we're doing is, it is both an educational thing and it is bringing the community together through food, culture, and joy.
When his father was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, Robert Karimi observed firsthand how the disease could be controlled by consuming a diet rich in vegetables with smaller portions of starchy foods. It was an approach that relied heavily upon returning to the healthful traditions and recipes of Karimi's family, and has become a cornerstone of his workshops.
Our big thing that we're doing is, and it's big thing is, we're saying let's use cultural ritual and cultural stories to get people to remember, to reconnect to their cultures, their environment, and each other. And we think that that could be a way to curb type 2 and other diseases.
In the United States, this devastating disease is especially prevalent among Latino immigrants. And while there are multiple causes of type 2 diabetes, obesity and poor diet are among the most common.
The Latino community, like many immigrant communities, experiences dietary acculturation when they immigrate. When they move to the United States, they move away from eating traditional foods, and they will be eating perhaps larger portion sizes because the foods are less expensive. And this isn't always just fast foods, but the ability of processed foods and access to pre-prepared foods is an important issue. It is an emerging problem that is potentially quite serious.
The Diabetes of Democracy project focused primarily on developing a new approach to prevention. Because children and adolescents have become increasingly at risk for type 2 diabetes, one of the project sites was South Point High School.
It is so important. It's actually vital that they eat healthy. I've walked into classes where my students are sleeping, and the cause is they're not nourished, they're not eating healthy. They go through crashes. They eat sugar, they drink a lot of these sports drinks that have a lot of sugar. They're not focusing, they're not able to think, they're not able to do homework or sit still. It's so important for our students to eat healthy. It will make a world of a difference in their education and in their lives in general.
At South Point, Karimi brought his interactive workshop to a language arts class twice a week for 3 weeks. During each of the workshops, students learned about healthful foods, how to cook, and much more.
The students, while they were cooking, were encouraged to share stories about what they did in their families or what their grandmothers did. And if there was a cultural component to it, even better, but we weren't trying to impose too much of a lens on it. And then as the students cooked together, the atmosphere in the classroom just kind of energized, and then it only took one day, and then from that point on they were a cooking community.
The program changed it changed my mentality about food, made us reflect on what we were eating, what our community was eating, what our family was eating. And yeah, right now, our family's eating healthier, my mom's eating healthier, and it was a great experience.
In addition to South Point, Karimi brought his workshops to ASU's downtown kitchens in the School of Nutrition and Health Promotion. There he demonstrated his techniques and theatrical approach to graduate students and community health workers.
There was a little bit of a difference in everyone already knew how to eat healthy. And so they learned about the cooking, but they learned about how to engage an audience, how to use storytelling, how to integrate culture, into eating healthy and cooking. They learned about how can you communicate that message that, eating healthy can be fun, can be easy, can be something that the whole family can do.
Workshops with Karimi, while apart from being fun, have been very helpful to me in my work and in my personal life, because there is a before and after in the workshops. I learned personally not to be afraid to use new vegetables, to make variations with food to including vegetables either for my family or my job here. The nutrition classes have helped us a lot in motivating our patients to make healthy changes.
Once the workshops were completed, the researchers set about analyzing the study's findings. They determined that there was ample support for expanding the study within the community of South Phoenix, with young people at the center of a longer-term project.
Specific outcomes we discovered is that young people had measurable change in their beliefs about how easy it was to eat healthy, that they came in saying, yeah, it's hard to eat healthy, and they left saying, no, it's not that hard to eat healthy, actually. And their belief about how fun it was to eat healthy. Healthy food isn't bad tasting, it actually tastes pretty good and it's pretty fun to make. I mean, that's amazing.
With the high school students, the qualitative interviews in the focus groups really showed that it opened up a whole new world for them, that they hadn't really thought about how they could change and take control of their food, because they're at a transition point in their life where much of this has been done by their parents. But many of them expressed a great deal of enjoyment and growth coming out of that workshop experience, that it opened up a whole new world. And I think we have a wonderful project to go forward from here.